Sportin Beards. Hey Chase.
What up, Doyce? What's that sign you're holding up with your fingers?
It's been a heck of a day.
It has.
It's it yeah. This was fun already, and still got some stuff to go.
Yeah. It has been wild. It has been
It's
absolutely wild.
yeah. We got college football. We got baseball. Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole.
Oh my
There's a lot
gosh.
going on. I had forgotten about
Honestly,
that until right this second.
I actually kind of had forgotten about that too because of how crazy a day it's been. I mean, I actually shared my setup with the Instagram.
Yeah.
So I've had all four screen. Well, my laptop ended up getting pretty low, and Tennessee was winning the game pretty good, and I didn't feel like putting another one on. So I put I put the laptop away, but I have had my eyes on at least three screens all day.
Yep. Same here.
A
I've had
few
four
maybe
going.
little minor naps in between some of those.
You got to recharge. You got to
Yeah,
recharge with all this craziness.
it happens, dude.
It's just been nonstop, back to back to back. I mean, I love college football Saturdays, and when you throw in postseason baseball, especially when your team's not playing, so it's stress free watching postseason baseball.
And you just want it to be fun, and it
Yeah, and it
totally
has
has
been.
been.
Oh man, you
Yes.
you talk about a good day. Like it really has. I mean, obviously as a Texas fan, I'm super stoked
Yeah,
about
even
Red
more than
River.
you. Yes.
But we've had some historic, like we've had two baseball games today, and they've both been historic,
Yep. Big time.
like literally
There.
historic.
Whoa. It's been a while. I haven't big timed in a while.
Yeah, yeah. If there was a day to bring out the big time,
It is
today is
today.
the big time.
Big time Saturday, dude. It has been crazy. It's been fun. Oh man.
So this is going to kind of be a all over the place. Probably we're going to try to stay on topic, but no promises whatsoever.
Right, because it has definitely been an all over the place kind of day. Not
Yeah,
just for us, but for any kind of fans out there that are somewhat similar to us who like to just watch everything and soak it all in. It's funny though. I also posted my setup on my Snapchat, and my buddy's wife, Chris's wife, Courtney, she commented on it. Tell me you're single without telling me you're single.
hey, I'm married and I had four screens.
Fair.
So
I just thought that was kind of funny. I mean, I was like, hey, but I even mentioned it last episode.
plus she's in our fantasy league. She understands sports.
Oh no, she even said you just need to find a lady like me that likes to also watch
That's
everything.
right.
Exactly. So
Or
if
somebody
you're
like
out there,
Aurora that just stays busy all the time.
yeah, that works too. um, dang it, I forgot.
Sorry, I
It's
didn't
all
mean to
good though.
interrupt you.
Oh no,
I'm
you're good.
like,
You're good.
I'm so
Oh no,
hyped
I said it
right now.
last episode. This weekend's a great weekend to be single. I already said it
All right.
before she even told me that. So I already knew.
But ladies, check out the
Hello,
beard.
ladies.
Check out the beard. It's a hearty beard.
I got some tattoos. Got some ink on me.
Yeah, yeah. Chase
Yeah,
is a
you
good.
know.
He's a good dude. He's one of the best people I know.
Oh dang. I guess Siri wants to.
Siri
Siri,
wants to be a part of
I
the.
guess not you.
This is not that movie. The I don't
No.
remember what it was. The yeah.
Ek
There,
Machina or
there
something
was
like. Or no,
no
her.
there. Yeah, there was a movie where a guy fell in love with his phone,
Yeah,
or his
I think it
phone
was
was in love with him, or something like that.
what's his name? The one that played Jesus in uh the one back in the day. You remember that one
Yeah,
that caused
I
a big.
don't.
Oh man, what was it called? Ah, there's gonna be people upset with me for not remembering this one. It's all good.
Yeah, I
Anyways,
don't know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
I know what movie you're talking about though. I think it was called Her, and he like fell in love with his computer. I don't think I ever actually saw it,
So I don't think that's the
but
one. There's one with the phone, it was a comedy.
Oh. I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
if I've seen that
It
either.
doesn't matter. Let's move on. We've got a
It
lot to
doesn't.
get to.
Anyways, we told you it's going to be scatterbrained, not just because of the sports, but like we've been. Oh man, my
So,
brain.
so we've each still got 3 games going on, and so what games do you have on?
First, what episode is this?
Oh yeah, we didn't. This is
4?
34.
Yeah, because I said Aaron Jones last time.
Yeah, I think it's 34.
34. Nolan Ryan. I mean, it's got to be Nolan
Yeah,
Ryan, right?
yeah.
That's the
That's
best 34
definitely
that comes to mind for
that's
me.
definitely up there. Wasn't what was Marshawn Lynch's number?
Ooh, I think
Wasn't
he was
Marshawn Lynch
24.
34?
I think he was 24.
You know who is 34? Ricky Williams.
Ooh, that's another good one.
Yeah.
Shout out to my smokers out there.
Yeah. Yeah, Ricky Williams is great. He's
Yeah.
a yoga instructor now.
Yeah. I loved when he got to take pictures in the Super Bowl for the Ravens after he was playing for him. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we should just kind of dive into it. I'll get one thing out of the way so we don't even really have to talk about it. Thursday Night Football was absolute garbage. It
Yeah.
was just a field goal fest, 12-9 Colts over the Broncos. Russell Wilson, not sure what's going on with him, but he does not look like he's cooking up anything
So I saw he
good
has like
right now.
something torn in his shoulder. Is
He
the
did end up
report I saw
having,
today.
yeah, apparently he ended up having a procedure yesterday, and apparently was playing through an injury, which respect. I do give him respect for that, but still, so far, doesn't look like Broncos country is riding anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, that's kind of a disaster, but
Anyways, that was more than I even planned on getting into that game. It was
more
not a
than it
fun
deserved.
game. Yeah, more than it deserved. I hope Jonathan Taylor's all right. If he can be all right, and the Colts got away with winning that one, they could be all right. But
yeah, so it is 7:52 on Saturday, October 8th.
Ocho.
I've got Texas A&M and Alabama on. I've got the Mets and Padres on another TV, and then to stay on brand, I've got Iowa and Illinois on the other TV.
For the brand.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got Alabama A&M on as well. I also have the Mets and Padres, and then I actually am just stuck in some wonderful playoff baseball mood. So I got the Phillies and the
yeah,
and Cardinals on as well. So
yeah, I might put that one on here at some point. It'll definitely go on at some point. I just got to pick the right moment. I'm kind of hoping the Alabama A&M game goes sideways, and then I can switch off of that one.
speaking of, so far,
0-0.
still 0-0. 3 minutes into the second quarter, so definitely still early. This was happening to Georgia earlier, and obviously the outcome
Yeah,
changed.
yeah,
So
it happens.
so there's plenty of time left in this game, but yeah. Plus, just to be fair, I mean, I'm sure you're the same way. I'm definitely still keeping up with all the other scores, like on my phone, and then obviously I love that they have the bottom screen or the bottom line or whatever on ESPN. So
Yeah,
trying to keep up with all of it. We'll try our best.
Notre Dame's up 18-6 on BYU.
I saw that. That's a little surprising, but Notre Dame is better
Ooh,
than what they've played so far.
Washington State is up on USC 14-10.
Dang, now that's one to watch.
Second quarter.
Kentucky, South Carolina tied. Clemson, Boston College tied. Yeah, we're still looking early in these late games.
Yeah, these games, a lot of these games start at 7 today. Usually they pretty much all start at 6 or 6:30, but a little bit later today than normal, I guess. But that's fine.
Yep, we should get to see some fun action.
So you wanted to kind of do baseball first, right?
I feel like it would kind of be easiest to kind of talk about yesterday's games.
Okay.
And then
I
get
don't want to
into
spend a
today's
ton of
games if
time
you
on them,
want.
but
Okay. All
just
right. I mean,
to kind of
mainly
keep
I'll
things
just
moving.
say I was just surprised. Dude, the Phillies Cardinals game,
Oh, oh,
0-0 into the eighth, right? And then they go up 2-0. And then in the ninth, the Phillies end up scoring six and just busting it. It was in the seventh.
the seventh inning is when the Cardinals scored. Yeah,
Scored two. They go up 2-0. And then yeah, in the ninth, the Phillies just
self-destruct by the Cardinals.
well, yeah, that basically was.
Like
Uh
just you bring your closer in that's been nails all season, and he can't find the strike zone and getting hit.
Harper
It's
home run.
just disaster. Harper Homer.
Yep. Breaking ball right down the middle.
Right.
Dang. So they're up 1-0. No, dude, it was definitely a collapse by the Cardinals. As
Lots
a
of pitching
Rangers
duels
fan,
yesterday.
oh, dude, I meant to mention that right when we started. So many good pitching matchups so far. Game ones obviously are going to be the best because you're taking your starters out there like your main guy. So game one, yeah, those matchups yesterday were so much fun, and a lot of the games didn't have a lot of scoring until late, like that Phillies and Cardinals game. The one that I didn't get to keep up with too much because the Phillies and Cardinals seemed to take forever. Was the Mariners and Blue Jays, but with it being 4-0, it looks like it wasn't too much of a game to have to keep up with because I saw that they went up 3-0 in the first. So,
Yeah, they got up on them pretty quick and then held on the rest of the way. Luis Castillo was incredible.
dude, he is a beast, man. I know. I think I saw. I think he struck out the side in the seventh before they sat him down.
Yeah, I think
Dude,
so.
I thought I think we mentioned it. We can even go back and look. I don't remember if it was you or me. One of us said that was a huge, huge acquisition at the trade deadline,
Yeah, I think we
and
both said it, to be fair.
yeah, so far it has definitely paid off. And man, we'll get into what they did today here in a minute, but I was also surprised how much the Padres were able to touch up Max Scherzer, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that was shocking.
I was not expecting that. Like we even talked about DeGrom Scherzer. How can you not bet against that? But you Darvish looked good yesterday, dude.
Yeah.
He was
Vintage you
sitting down.
Darvish.
Yeah, exactly. And then Profar, it's funny. I saw a tweet and it was like Darvish and Profar looking great in the playoffs, just like the Rangers anticipated in 2013. I was like, man, screw y'all. But
Yeah.
they did. They did. They looked really good. I mean, dude, the Padres, Josh Bell finally came through pretty clutch to put them ahead. I believe what his homer put them ahead yesterday.
Mhm.
And
To get
dude,
4 homers off of Max Scherzer in the same game,
exactly.
that's
That's
insane.
nuts. That is so nuts.
A lot of Astros
But
fans were wondering where that Scherzer was 3 years ago.
right.
2019 World Series. I'm like, well, three
Well,
years can do a lot.
that's what I was gonna say. When you say it out loud, it even sounds worse than you think, because
Mhm.
especially on an arm that has that many miles on it. So
Yeah.
hopefully,
Let's
hopefully they make it a game, a series, and we get a game three out of that one because I'd really love to
So
see it.
in mentioning the fourth game from yesterday, which was actually the first game yesterday, the
Sorry, I kind of
Rays.
bounced around.
No, it's fine. It doesn't matter at all. Um, the Guardians were able to beat the Rays 2-1 yesterday on the back of a really good performance um, from Shane Bieber.
Mm-hmm.
7 2/3 innings, only gave up 1 run. He was really, really good. And to use that transition to kind of today, the Rays scored 1 run within the 2 games over 24 innings against the Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody that didn't see, the Rays and Guardians went to 15 innings today, and the
Dude.
Guardians won 1-0 in the 15th inning.
So I put everything on at 11 because everything was starting around at 11, right? And that one was still going when we were already almost to halftime of the college football games that
Yeah.
were in the second round.
So I had seen a tweet. I saw a tweet and it was like maybe around 2 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that. They were about to be going into extras, I think. And the tweet was, who's going to score first, Oklahoma, the Rays, or the Guardians? And then I saw a follow-up tweet at like
That's awesome.
I saw a follow-up tweet at like 3:30 that said, still waiting for an update.
For real though. I guess the Guardians end up winning that one because dude, 15 innings and it was a duel. A
Yeah.
duel, dude.
So
Um
I don't know if you saw, but the first baseball team, so the Guardians and Rays started at 11 o'clock. The Mariners and Blue Jays started at 3. The first baseball team to score was the Blue Jays.
yeah, dude. That was crazy, man. I was when they showed that up in the corner, when they started showing the score of that one, and I saw that it was already like 3-0,
Yeah.
I was like, and we don't even have nothing
How?
in this one.
This one started
But
4 hours before the other
I
one.
loved it. I could not stop watching it, dude. It was such a good pitcher's duel. They were throwing
Yeah.
so good, and defense too. There were some dude. I even texted you on that Jose Ramirez play with runners on first and third,
Yes.
2 outs down the line. The throw he made, and I think he stayed on the bag. I think he did. They
I
showed a
think he
better angle.
just kept a cleat on the bag.
I think so. So he was out, and dude, that I mean, obviously ended up being a crucial moment in the game because they would have scored right there. And then the Guardians had the bases loaded in the seventh,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't remember how they got the first out. I don't remember if it was a strikeout or not, but then they ended up getting a double play and getting out of it. And I was just like, man, this game, it is so intense.
Each
I
team used like 8 or 9 pitchers.
with their starters still going pretty deep. Like not
Yeah, it
deep.
was
5 innings out of
it was
Glass
like
now, I think.
yeah, Glasnow coming off of injury. I was gonna say
But still
energy.
holding them to no runs. I think it was like 2 hits through 5 innings.
Yeah, no, he was incredible. Like
Dude,
he was on it. If he
he
was,
was.
if it was mid-season form, if he had, been pitching the whole season and he was more stretched out, he probably goes 7 or 8. But
I mean, it ends up they didn't need it.
no, they
Well,
didn't.
no.
Well,
I mean,
yeah. It would have
they didn't
helped,
score. Yeah, even if he would have gone a couple extra innings, I don't think much would
but
have changed
if
in the
your
outcome of the
offense is
game.
not going to score, it doesn't really matter who's pitching.
Yeah, ask Jacob DeGrom.
Right. His whole career, he has a ton of experience with that.
Yep. But
And then
he got a little bit of run support tonight
so
so far.
when we say historic, it was the first postseason game that went 14 innings before anybody
Scoreless.
scored.
And then it even went into the 15th.
Yeah, it was scored in the 15th, but they played 14 complete innings with nobody scoring.
Yeah, that's nuts, dude.
It's
And the
absolutely
walk-off home
insane.
run, he crushed that shit, dude.
And I think before the 15th
Gonzalez,
inning,
right?
yeah, it was Oscar Gonzalez.
Dude.
But before the 15th inning, I think each team had a runner reach third, like maybe once, twice in the whole
Yeah, which
game.
is insane. And by the way, I do have to mention, I'm sure so many other people are probably talking about it too, because we finally got to see an extra inning game in the postseason. No ghost runner.
Yeah,
And man, it
it
made it
just
so much better.
it just shows you that the rule is stupid. That even baseball is basically admitting that the rule is stupid and doesn't make sense, because when the games really matter the most, it doesn't come into play.
Well, I see what you're saying. I don't want to necessarily go that far just because I kind of understand they're trying to get the regular season games done. Like even hockey.
Yeah,
Hockey has different overtime. I mean, even the NFL, they all have different overtime rules for the postseason than the regular season. So I kind of get that. But I still
yeah,
don't
but
like the ghost runner rule. Don't
it'd
get me
be
wrong. I'm not
it'd
an
be
advocate for it or anything.
it'd be like in the NFL, if in the regular season a game goes to overtime and they put you at the 40, like your opponent's 40, but then when you get to the postseason, they actually kick it off.
Yeah.
It'd be like that. in my opinion.
Yeah, kind of. Man, I love hockey when they do the shootouts, but they don't do the shootouts in the postseason. I wish they did. That would be intense. Actually,
Yeah,
yeah, that probably would not be good, but still, shootouts are fun.
be a rough way to have your season end.
Yeah, they should have had just a home run derby after the 14th inning. They're like, all right, we made history. Let's just have a home run derby now. I don't know who you think
you
would win
think
out of that.
you think any of them would even get it over, other than Oscar Gonzalez?
Yeah, no, probably not.
In a home run derby, they'd be fine, but it wouldn't be Juan Soto and Pete Alonso levels of home runs.
True.
So in the other game, we also had a historic today. The other game that's
Correct.
complete. It's only the third time in Major League Baseball history in the postseason that a team has come back from 7 down to win.
Which is crazy. First of all, I gotta say, because there's been so many baseball games and you still have to get all 27 outs. But the fact that they did it kind of late too. I mean, it was the 6th inning. They were down 8-1.
Yeah, they
right?
were down 8-1 going into the 6th inning, and they got 4 in the 6th, 4 in the 8th, and then 1 in the 9th to win it 10-9. Because they not only did they come back down 7, but so they were down 7. They scored 4 to cut it to a three-run game, and then the Blue Jays scored in the bottom of the net of the 7th inning to make it a 4-run game again. But then the Mariners scored 4 more in the 8th, and then the 1 in the 9th to end up winning the game 10-9. And it
So
was an
it did kind
elimination
of
game.
suck. So they had scored the 1 to make it a 3-run game, and then the bases were loaded, and they had a blooper into no man's land,
Mm-hmm.
a collision between Bo Bichette and George Springer.
A couple of guys just going all out
Going
to
all
try
out.
and
Yeah,
get the ball and save their
which
season.
they do all the time. Which they've been really good at. I mean, George Springer is known for going all out, and like he's
Oh
dove like
yeah,
sliding into the center field wall. Like
George Springer has no regard for his body.
no,
None.
and that obviously is starting to take a toll. You can kind of tell because even on one where he caught it and then just hit the wall, he even took his glove off right away and like was kind of hurt. And I just like, damn man, because he does put his body on the line a
He
lot.
plays all out all the time.
But yeah,
And
it did look kind of scary.
that's why he's
Bo Bichette.
he's a fan favorite wherever he plays
Agreed.
because of that.
I mean, he's a fan favorite regardless. Like I've always liked watching George Springer. I mean, we talk about him all the time with the leadoff home runs and stuff. But man, that was kind of scary. Bo Bichette's forearm or / shoulder, like nailing Springer in the head. So hopefully he's all right.
Hopefully he'll be good.
Yeah. The thing that sucks the most, obviously, I mean, the biggest or the longest drought in postseason baseball is over, and now they actually win a series.
Yep. They get to face the Astros next.
Yep. And it's a division rivalry. So that's going to be fun, man. I'm excited to see that, see this young Mariners team do what they can do. We'll see.
Yep.
I think y'all still have the pitching over them.
Especially since they had to use their 2 best pitchers to get to this point.
Right. One thing I forgot that I wanted to mention about the Guardians game that went 15.
Mm-hmm.
So Oscar Gonzalez's walk-off home run to clinch, or it's actually any walk-off hit to clinch a round. It's the second latest walk-off hit to clinch a round. The first one.
I know what the first one is.
Do you?
Yep.
Go ahead. I was going to ask.
Chris Burke.
It is Chris Burke. Do you remember the year?
2005.
It was 05.
It was Astros Braves in the 18th inning.
Yep, I remember that too, man. I'll never forget that. We've talked about it many times. I was over at a small group for church, and we had it on the upstairs TV, so we just all kept running up and downstairs to go check and see if anybody had scored yet. Or
do you remember what everything that led up to that game even going to extras? Because it should not have even been in extras.
Not really, to be honest with you, just because it's been so long.
I remember like it was yesterday, essentially. Um, Basically, the Braves were up 6-1 going into the eighth inning, the seventh or eighth inning, and Lance Berkman hit a grand slam into the
That's
Crawford
right.
boxes. And then the
I do
next
remember that.
inning, in the ninth inning, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth inning, and Brad Ausmus hits a home run to left center field that just barely gets over the yellow line to tie it up, sends it to extras, and
Oh yeah,
ends up going to
barely over the yellow
18.
line. I remember that now too. Oh,
Yeah. And then Chris
oh.
Burke walks it off in the 18th.
I knew you'd probably remember it, so I figured
Yeah.
I'd throw it out there. But yeah, so now that is the second one. Do you remember? Do you know what happened to be the third one by chance?
The
'Cause
third one?
it was in the 12th inning of a game in 2014
Ooh.
in the AL wild card round.
Oh, in the wild card in 2014?
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been Royals and A's, right?
I'm proud of you.
I don't remember who it was that hit it though.
Throw one out there. Come on.
I'm gonna throw out Alex Gordon.
Nope. I'll give
Yeah.
you one more guess because I'm going to give you one more hint. He's still playing.
Salvi?
It was Salvi.
Nice.
Nice. I was hoping that hint would give it to you. Yep, it was Salvador Perez in 2014 AL wild card in the 12th inning.
Nice.
And then there was
Nice.
one in 1924, but
Yeah.
there's no way you're getting that one.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to tell you who was even in the World Series that year.
Oh, dang it.
24 is random one.
One of my games was on too long and turned off.
You got anything else on
So
baseball, or are you ready to move on to
I just wanted to give one update. The Bryce
college?
Harper, the Bryce Harper home run put Phillies up 1-0. That's where we're still standing in the third inning, and then Padres and Mets are tied 1-1 in the bottom of the fourth.
Yep.
So now we can move on to college.
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 So are
We just got to start.
you gonna let
Yeah.
me
Go
go?
ahead. Go ahead. Yes. Yeah, I got you.
I'm not gonna sing the fight song. Not gonna
I'm
sing
proud
the
of you.
fight song.
Okay.
But it was a glorious late morning, early afternoon at the State Fair of Texas
It was
as
rocking.
the Texas Longhorns just absolutely obliterated the Oklahoma Sooners.
Like 10
And
nothing, right? Wasn't it like 10 nothing?
it could have been 70. Like if Texas
I don't
wanted
know
it to
about
be
that.
70, if Texas wanted it to be 70, it could have been 70.
I don't know. Quinn Ewers did make a couple questionable passes, and one of them did get picked off.
Yeah, that one was definitely questionable. But when you're already up 42-0, I think it was at that point. I don't
I do
remember. I
have
don't
to
know if it was
admit,
that late, but
so I do have to admit, early, OU's down 7. They're pretty close. I
driving,
think they were in the red zone,
yeah.
and they tried that pretty sweet fake field goal, which
Which
I
I
actually
saw
liked
a
a
mile
lot.
away. I was sitting there like, protect against the fake, protect against the fake. They know they can't win this game with field goals. They're not kicking this field goal, but they
And
got it.
honestly, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Dude, the holder looked like he was a shortstop turning two. Like it looked pretty sweet. So I liked it. They got it, but then y'all stuff them.
Yep.
They go for it on fourth. What was it, fourth and goal, or was it like 4th and 1 close to the goal line? It was
I
something like that.
think that it was like 4th and 1, 4th and 2, close to the goal line, but
I
it
think that's what it
wasn't. It
was.
wasn't fourth and goal.
And y'all stop them. And
Yeah.
then I'm pretty sure that was the closest they got
Yeah, I
the
mean
entire game.
the only way that Oklahoma, the alma mater of Baker Mayfield and Jalen Hurts and Kyler Murray and who else have they had recently?
Sam Bradford.
Sam Brad, like all these NFL quarterbacks that have come through in recent years. Caleb Williams is going to be an NFL quarterback. He's gone now.
Landry Jones,
Spencer Rattler might be a pro quarterback at some point. He's gone. This program that has had all these great college quarterbacks, first round type NFL quarterbacks. They get Dylan Gabriel, so their starter wasn't playing, but they have fallen so far with quarterbacks that they were literally putting a tight end to play quarterback and run Wildcat because that was the only way they could move the ball.
I didn't even notice that because that one got out of hand so quick that.
Well, that was on that drive, that drive you're referring to, like the way that they were able to move the ball for the most part. I think it was early as that drive. They had put their tight end in to do some Wildcat. And that was basically the only way they could move the ball. The thing with the Wildcat is the more you use it, the less effective it is.
True. Yeah, it's kind of got to be a throw the defense off and
right. And that was the only way they could move the ball. That's how far Oklahoma's fallen quarterback wise, that like backup or no backup, Oklahoma's backups in the past have been able to throw the ball at least somewhat successfully.
I'm gonna say, to be fair, not necessarily OU's fault with the whole new transfer portal and their coach bailing and the quarterback following him, and that kind of sucks. I mean, not necessarily all their fault, but still, I'm kind of with you. You should have had at least somebody that's serviceable, and they didn't have anything like that. I mean, at least lately their defense looked somewhat good. They looked, well, no, against TCU they looked really bad too. But
no, their defense hasn't been good.
No, yeah, awful. All around they have not been good. When you get beat by Texas, no offense, I mean, y'all are on the come up. You're heading in the right direction. But when you get beat by Texas like this, ugh.
Hey, if Quinn Ewers hadn't gotten hurt, Texas is probably 6-0.
I don't know about 6-0. I don't know if they're gonna end up beating Alabama in that game without.
They lost by one. They lost by one with the backup quarterback that couldn't move because his ankle was twisted.
But he played a hell of a game.
He did. He played pretty well
and I think Quinn Ewers doesn't necessarily change that game. I mean, you can argue it. I don't know about 6-0. They definitely would be better.
At least 5-1.
And they would be ranked. They would have. It wouldn't have been the first time since '98 that they didn't have a ranked team in the Red River rivalry.
That's beside the point, though. Like,
Quinn Ewers looked really good, minus a couple passes. Like I said, he had a couple questionable ones, but he looked really good. One of them that I even wrote down early on, I think it was when it might have been the next drive after they stopped him. He had that fake handoff where he looked left and was going to throw it to somebody, and then just turned around and threw it to the guy that he just faked the handoff to. I think it was Bijan. And probably. Dude, it was a hell of a play. It was super clean, and Ewers made it look easy. And he made some really nice throws today too. So don't get me wrong.
My favorite throw that he made today, and it was a really good catch from Bijan as well, is there was one Bijan. where he ended up having to roll left as a right-handed quarterback and then throw across his body towards the sideline, above one defender but below another defender, and Bijan
made a hell of a catch.
Catches it. It's the only place that ball could have been thrown, and it had to be a good catch to get it as well. And that was on like a third down and 9 or something, and they ended up going down and scoring again. So this was the first time that Oklahoma had been shut out since 1998. Just shut out, period.
Damn.
It's the biggest shutout defeat in Oklahoma history at 49-0.
And I believe. Oh, go ahead.
It's the biggest margin of victory for a Texas over Oklahoma, and it's the third largest margin of victory for a Red River game
since like 54, I think. Is something that I saw. I think it's the largest margin of victory in Red River since 54 is what I.
Yeah, I don't remember the years, but it's the first time Texas has shut out Oklahoma since 65.
That might have been what I saw.
But anyway,
Oh
Texas
dang.
Texas looked great, and Oklahoma did not look
No,
great,
they didn't.
to say the least.
So
Uh,
just to get it out of the way, we'll go ahead and maybe talk about my team a little bit. I
okay.
know they played a little bit later, but let's just go ahead and get that one out. Yeah, they got moved down the rankings. Still kind of look like they deserve to. Early on, the first half wasn't very pretty against Auburn, but they held them scoreless in the first half, and then ended up beating them 42-10. So it ended up being a really good showing for them in the long run. But man, Stetson Bennett could not really get going in the first half. He ended up having a 64-yard touchdown run, which was pretty badass in the second half. So they got the job done. It ended up like if you're just looking at the score, you're like, hell yeah, Georgia beat the shit out of them. But man, it was not pretty early on, and it
No,
was kind of stressful. So um,
they got to figure out some offense.
they
They
do.
got to figure
They
out how
got
to
to
move the ball a little better, because that defense isn't going to carry them the same way that it carried them last year.
no, but like I said, last year it was very similar. So if they can at least figure out a few things on offense, then I think they're going to be all right. Because that's exactly what they dealt with last year. But the
They've
defense was able to carry them.
they've got some better
So
teams on their schedule this year, though.
yeah,
We'll talk about Tennessee, but they've got Tennessee in a couple of weeks.
yeah, and then Kentucky and
Kentucky is going to be really good too.
yep, Florida is on there.
Now, Kentucky's quarterback is hurt, Will Levis. He's not playing today. They're playing right
Oh
now.
dang.
So don't know what's up with that. I didn't even see anything throughout the week about him, just that he showed up today in a walking boot. So no idea what's going on there.
Yikes. That's not a good sign. We do actually, since we've been talking, we've had 3 scores in the A&M Bama game. Bama is now at 14-7. Um, so it's getting a little bit more exciting.
Yeah,
It was actually a quick three
USC
scores.
scored. They're up 17-14, about to be going into halftime
The
against
Mets have also
Washington
scored
State.
again.
Yeah, it was 2-1, right?
Yep. I'm trying not to bounce around too much, but it's just going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those episodes.
Yep. So, dude,
So
one thing I actually meant to mention real quick too. I forgot to just say um, about the Texas OU game. Bijan, man, just making catches. He's not just a running back. That dude is a beast, and he's making catches, man, and he's fun to watch. He's a lot of
he
fun to
might
watch.
be a first round pick running back, which hasn't happened for a couple of years now.
Uh, if you're ready to move on to another game, I got one guy that I can actually compare him, or not compare to, but like argue with you about with that.
Okay,
Uh,
Corum,
Blake Corum, dude. Goodness gracious,
he's
he's
really
impressing me
good.
week in and week out. He just looks like a workhorse, like a straight workhorse.
Yeah,
That game was close for a while.
yeah. Michigan kind of had like a Georgia Auburn thing go on where it was
Right.
close for a while and then pulled away at the end.
Hmm. But
Uh,
man, I like that kid. He can play. And
yeah,
then Michigan's quarterback, he threw his first pick today,
to McCarthy,
which was
right?
impressive. Yeah, McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy.
So that's very impressive. Michigan's looking good, man. One of our buddies was over earlier watching with us, and he was like, Michigan, they're four. He hasn't been keeping up too much, but he was like, they're four. Like, are they actually four, or are they overranked? And I was like, no, I mean they're four. They're a good football team.
They're yeah, they're I think some teams are closing the gap on number 4. That's actually one
True.
of the things that I was going to ask you about is so Michigan they've won. The final scores are not super close in these last few games, but they haven't like it's been, late third, early fourth quarter kind of pull away games. So
Right.
I wanted to ask you, between these 5 teams, which you think is the 4th best team in the country. I think pretty much everybody is settled on,
One, two,
at
three.
least until they lose, Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia as the top 3. I think that's
Right.
pretty well established. I think those three, there's a clear separation, I think, between those three and everybody else. But I've got five teams that I think you can make a case for number four. And that is Michigan, Penn State, Clemson, USC, and Oklahoma State. I think those are the five teams that you could make a case to be the fourth best team in the country. What do you think about that?
I'm gonna have to stick with Michigan.
You still think Michigan's number four?
I still think Michigan's number 4.
Oh,
They've got the
I forgot the
coaching.
sixth one. I forgot the sixth one. Tennessee.
Tennessee looked really good today. Tennessee looked really good. Penn State does look really good too. Still, I'm with you there. I'm kind of hopping on your bandwagon. But like I said, I mean, I'm just super impressed by Corum. He's leading that
Yeah.
offense. McCarthy, finding out that was his first pick today through 6 games, that's very impressive for college football.
They've had a really weak schedule though, so we need to keep that in mind. Like
But they've done what
Indiana's
they
not
needed
very
to
good.
do. No, I do agree with that. But they've done what they needed to do in most of the games where they should have beat the shit out of them. They kind of have.
Yeah.
So until they have it even closer, because that was close for a little while, but like you said, they ended up taking it away. I don't think you can take them off of that because the talent is there.
I think that if the season, if we didn't have preseason rankings and we didn't do that until right now, and you were ranking the teams, I think that you would have Tennessee four.
It could be
The way that they've
argued.
looked,
It
the
could be
teams that they've
changed.
beat, I think that if you started the season with no rankings, like you knew nothing about college football from last year or any previous years, and you just were watching the teams and who they've played, and you sat down at the beginning of the season, you watched every game, and you watch it all the way through. I think that Tennessee would probably be the fourth team.
Tennessee looks really good. The, the hard part about saying all that is like you can't.
No,
Like you can't
no,
take away all that stuff. You can't ignore everything. It is the way it is, and that's how it's always going to be. I don't see it changing. They're going to always have preseason stuff like that. But it's funny that you actually mentioned that though, because I was just thinking to myself. I told you earlier. I don't think I said it on here yet. Uh, I didn't bet this weekend at all for the first time in a little while. I kind of took a little break off. That doesn't mean I might not for NFL tomorrow. But I started thinking. I was like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't bet until like halfway through the season next year because you really don't know.
kind
You
of
really have no idea.
get some what's the word?
Some
Some info into your
yeah,
brain
some
before you.
exactly. So it's like so I kind of see what you're saying. The preconceived rankings, like pre-season, do change people's minds a little bit and how they even view these people or these teams. But that's also just part of it because I was talking to somebody about it. I wanted Kentucky to win so that when we played them, they were higher ranked because it's going to look better when we beat them.
Right.
Because that's just how it is. So I definitely see what you're saying, but with the way everything goes and the way college football is, I think Michigan's still number 4.
That's
But
fair.
I could see an
I think
argument
it's
for it.
close. I think it's
I think
really
it's
close.
I think it's closer than it was. It's definitely closer than it was. Tennessee looked really good today. And man, those unis are sweet. Definitely love the dark gray
Yeah.
or the smoke gray with the orange. However, I was thinking back though, I was like, man, I just remember Tennessee though being the white and orange. Like,
Creamsicle.
yeah. So I do like them, but then again, I kind of miss their old school look too. So,
Speaking
but
of
anyways,
teams where you like their uniforms, TCU remains unbeaten against Kansas.
dude, okay, so I had that game on the whole time and I watched the entire game. Man, that was a game. That
It
was a
was a
fun
fun
game to
one.
watch. Unfortunately, Jalen Daniels gets hurt right before halftime
Yeah,
because
which
I really
sucks.
think Kansas could have won that game. They should
They
have won
definitely
that
could have.
game.
Yeah.
Because really the difference was like, let's see, what did I put here? So at TCU had just tied it up, and then Jalen Daniels was out. So they had Bean. What was his first name?
Jason.
Jason Bean.
Jason Bean.
What a name. There we go. uh, and dude, he just had a terrible pass that was way behind the receiver, went right to the TCU defender or linebacker, I think it was. Made a nice pick on it. It wasn't like an easy catch. Don't get me wrong. He made a little dive and play on it, so it was a nice pick. But it was just a terrible pass, and
Yeah. He was
that
in
basically kind of changed the
his
game right
throws were kind
there.
of all over the place. Like
Exactly.
when
So
he missed, like he would hit it and it'd be like, oh man, that's a great pass. But when he missed,
he
he
missed.
really missed.
Yep, it was really bad. And so I really think if Jalen Daniel didn't get hurt, or Jalen Daniels, excuse me, Kansas would actually be the one sitting undefeated still, and we might be having a different conversation. But that is
Yeah.
sports. That's how things go.
Those
And
receivers for
TCU,
TCU
dude.
made
So
some incredible catches.
early on, I was like, TCU is about to just roll
Steamroll.
Kansas.
Yeah.
Yes, because I mentioned it in the broadcast before when they were taking the field. They looked so much bigger. Like they just looked like a bigger team. And then there were a couple of running plays where they just plowed right over them. And I was like, I am not feeling too good about Kansas right now. But then they showed up. They showed up and they made it a ball game. Unfortunately, they lost their quarterback. That's really the difference in this one. I don't want to take too much credit away from TCU because TCU still did play really well.
Mhm.
Um, Buggard, what am I?
Duggan.
Duggan. It's hard to keep up with so many people.
Max Duggan.
Max Duggan. He looks good, dude. I like him,
Yeah, he's a pretty
and
good quarterback.
he was making some passes. He had a touchdown run. He does what he needs to do to win football games. And TCU, they look good, man. They were able to get a big win today on the road with game day there, ranked matchup. Like, hey, they got it done. Sonny Dykes apparently knows how to win. So
Yeah. He's a
that
good
is
coach.
exciting.
He's a
Yeah,
good coach. Like what he did at SMU while he was there is impressive stuff. And to be able to turn TCU's offense in particular around, like that offense, like it looked inept a lot of last year. And the last couple of
right.
years, really, their offense has just not been very good. And he gets there and one off season, he just turns it all around. And now that offense looks awesome.
It looks awesome. I do want to double down on what you said. Oh, dang. So A&M scored and they just picked off Alabama. It is
Yeah.
tied 14 all. A&M just picked them off. I guess Bryce Young ain't playing.
No,
I
no,
saw him with
it's
pads
Milrow.
on. Okay, I had seen him with pads on. I didn't realize he didn't actually go out there. Um, that was a pretty bad throw. But there's a minute 38 left. They're just on their side of the field, so we'll keep an eye on that. Dang it, what was I saying? I don't remember. Oh, I wanted to double down on what you said. The TCU receivers, dude.
It was
There's some
impressive.
big men that know how to catch the ball and they got good footwork. Like TCU is going to be a team to watch. If they keep winning, you're going to have to start creeping them up that those rankings. So
Yeah, like I started that last week, and they're going to move quite a bit up because I do really like that Kansas team, and I respect that victory against Kansas a
agreed.
lot.
Even without their quarterback, I mean, you're still playing against their full defense. And they were able to get it done. So
Kansas goes to Oklahoma next week. That should be fun.
Ah, we'll see if Jalen Daniels is
Hopefully,
back.
yeah.
If Jalen
Hopefully
Daniels
Daniels
is
plays.
back, that might be another another week like today.
Yeah.
But if he's
Did
not back,
Did
might
you
be a good
see
game.
what Israel Abanikanda did today for Pitt?
I did not.
So he had 36 carries for 320 yards and six.
Count them.
I say
1, 2, 3,
again,
4, 5,
six
6.
touchdowns.
Golly.
320 yards against Virginia Tech. It
So
broke the ACC record for rushing yards,
okay.
held by
Oh,
just some guy named Tony Dorsett.
A&M just threw a pick.
Of course they did. You're a little ahead of me again, but
Tony Dorsett, you said
yeah,
he broke his record. Dang,
broke Tony
dude.
Dorsett's record for the ACC, and then
See,
broke the ACC record for touchdowns with the 6 touchdowns.
that's nuts. That's pretty nuts. See, the crazy part about that though is that's still not NCAA records.
No,
We've seen
LaDainian
like some
Tomlinson.
400-yard games and like
Yeah,
7
LaDainian Tomlinson
touchdowns.
when he was at TCU had like a almost 500-yard rushing day, I think.
Yes, there's been some absolutely bonkers rushing stats for college football before.
Yeah. What else we got? CJ Stroud had more touchdown passes than incompletions.
See, I didn't even really keep up with that one too much just because it got out of hand quick and
Yeah, I
it
didn't watch
didn't look
any
like
of
it
it.
was going to me
It
neither.
it didn't make the cut. Had 4
Nope.
TVs and it didn't make the cut. That's how many games were on today. How many good games?
Right. I agree. Mississippi
But
State making Arkansas look like they definitely shouldn't be ranked anything close.
no KJ Jefferson.
Still.
No
Oh, that's
KJ
true.
Jefferson for that game.
That makes a big difference. Let's see what else do we have. Ooh, dude. Well, let's wait on that one. I mean, I know you made an argument for Oklahoma State.
Okay. Yeah.
Tech gave them a run for their money today.
They did. You know what? I really like the Tech quarterback. Morton was his last name. It's like Brennan Morton or Braden Morton, something like that.
It is Bayron Morton, Behren. So we will both just have to not know.
Yeah, I didn't have the sound on
Bayron.
that game, so I don't know how the announcers were saying it.
Right.
But
Hey,
that dude
39 of 62, 379 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick.
that dude played his heart out.
Yeah, dude, 16 carries, 46 yards, and a
Yeah.
touchdown as
He
well.
he came
Jeez.
into the season as the 3rd string quarterback for Tech. This was his first start on the road against Oklahoma State, top 10 team.
Rowdy crowd.
And he was only playing because of injuries. And that dude played his heart out. So props to him. He looked really good, actually.
I agree.
And
Tech actually looked pretty good. I mean, they're trying to double down on their whole college football is running through Lubbock thing.
yeah,
I'm not going to forget that. I can't help it. But he's getting them in the right direction because they definitely looked really good today. They gave Oklahoma State a big time run for their money where I really didn't know. I didn't know if Oklahoma State was going to be able to pull it off.
Yeah, I mean,
till real late.
Tech's been competitive in every game that they've played. Like
Did you
even the
see
games that they've lost.
Dude, so right after Tech scored to their first drive, or I don't know if it was on their first drive, but it was the first score. So they're up 7-0. They tried the onside kick. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
They get it. It travels like 14 yards. They get
Yep.
the onside kick. So apparently, did you see why they actually didn't get the ball?
Fair catch.
Apparently, they did not kick the ball into the ground. So since he
Nope.
kicked it straight up into the air, you can fair catch it, and then it doesn't matter who touches the ball. Wherever it gets touched, it's
Down.
their ball. Dude, that is like IQ 1000 for whoever called that fair catch. Because if Tech gets that onside kick right there, who knows what happens in this game, dude, because that was ballsy and I liked it. That's one thing I do love about college football. There's a little bit more ballsiness going on.
Yeah. The teams will just be aggressive. Like you're going into a game against the number 7 team on the road. You know your 3rd string quarterback. Like in all likelihood you're going to lose this game. Does it really matter if you lose by 10 or you lose by 40? Does it really matter that much? Not really. You're supposed to lose by 40. So be aggressive, get after it. They went for
That I
fourth
liked it.
down. They went on fourth down a lot. Like be aggressive. I love being aggressive in those situations.
Same. I don't want to take everything away from Oklahoma State. They were able to pull it off. They looked pretty good too. Sanders, 22 of 45, 297 yards and a touchdown, and then also on the ground, 17 carries for 56 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he was able to get it done. I mean, Oklahoma State, they look pretty good too. So you can't really take anything away from them. Tech just definitely played up to their competition and made it a pretty good game, to where I basically had that one on almost the whole time too once I switched over to it.
Ooh, Florida State is up 14-3 on NC State.
NC State has never beat Florida State as a ranked team.
Ooh, good stat. I hadn't seen that.
So that is something they're trying to end. And right now,
Not going well
not
to
looking good.
start.
But it's the first half. I mean, football's a tale of two halves. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully Florida State can keep that going. Clemson's only up 10-3 in the third quarter on Boston College. That's why I wouldn't make an argument for them taking 4 from Michigan. They've had some close ones.
Yeah, their offense. I'm still not a believer in their offense. As DJ Uyunglele is,
Nice.
and he is
You did good
talented.
there. You did good there. I'm
Thanks.
proud of you.
I kind of there for in the middle, but
It was good enough.
I know that it's Uyunglele. I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced, like slowly,
You
but
know
trying to
more
say
than
it
I do.
fast is a little more difficult.
I want to go see it written out.
It's
Ungalele. Ungalele.
it's
Nailed it.
it's
Nailed it.
it's Unga
Oh, they just kicked a
Ungalele.
field goal. So now it's 16-3. Clemson. And then we got USC is only up 17-14 on Washington State at the half. Oh, Cardinals scored. That one's now tied at 1. I'm all over the place, man. This has been fun.
I mean, today has been all over the place.
Yep. Kentucky down 17-7 to South Carolina right now.
Oh damn! I thought I had played Washington State against USC, but I guess I didn't put anything on that.
What did you put down have for today on your lines?
So I had
Polar Bear Pete taking the lead for the Mets. I guess the Padres had actually tied it back up 2-2, and then Polar Bear Pete just hit a home run to take the lead.
Utah -3.5 against UCLA. We're gonna have to talk about that game, but that's a bust for me.
Oh yeah, we'll have to talk about that one.
I had Kansas +7 at TCU. That one's a push because it ended up being a 7-point game. I had Tennessee -3 against LSU. That was a big W.
Nice.
I had Michigan State +27 against Ohio State, which that one almost was 29 was the point margin there.
That's almost close to that line that you say you don't really mess around with numbers that big. That's a big one for you.
Yeah, and the only reason that, like, if I'm going to mess with a number that big, it's because I'm taking the underdog
To cover.
just
Gotcha.
because it's a big number. 27 is a massive number.
I agree.
What I didn't realize.
See, I did the wrong thing that time. I took Ohio State like +47 or whatever.
Yeah, no, I don't touch those. I don't touch favorites at over 20, like under any circumstance.
Not a bad move.
But what I wish that I had seen before I made that bet is something that I saw after the game, and that is that the average score of a Ohio State Michigan State game for the last like 5 years is something like 44-9.
Oh dang.
So I wouldn't have played that if I had seen that stat. So I should do more research, I guess.
Like I said, we should just wait until the middle of the season.
Right. The bet that's still out there is a parlay, which is Iowa +3.5 and under 36.5. That game
Okay.
is currently 6-6 in the third quarter.
Dude, I'm telling you,
So looking good there.
if there's a game with Iowa and the over under is ever 30 or more, take the under. I think I'm going to start doing that with you because it's going to pay off more times than not.
So I don't take it every week. I look at the number, look at the opponent, kind of figure out. Like I
Yeah,
didn't
last
take
week.
last week they basically got like right at the over under. Like it was within like 1 point either direction. The week before that they hit the over by like 3. So and I didn't play that one, or no, I did play that one. But I took the under today because Illinois isn't that great at offense and Iowa is Iowa.
True.
So looking okay there. All right, so UCLA kind of crushed Utah. I mean,
Yes.
it was a close game until the fourth quarter, and then UCLA
True.
kind of ran away with it. UCLA is really good. Zach Charbonnet
Yeah,
is really good.
you've talked about it.
Dorian Thompson Robinson's really good.
Since you mentioned it, I definitely had to pay a little bit more attention to him today.
What was his first name? Jake Bobo.
Is it Jake?
I think it's Jake. I know his last name is
Bobo.
Yeah, Jake Bobo, making some
number
plays
9.
as a wide receiver.
Yeah, dude, and we got my boy Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Yeah, he's
18
he's a
of
good college
23,
quarterback.
299 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. I mean, damn, dude. Only 18 completions, but 4 of them are touchdowns. It's
a good ratio.
Yeah, that's a good ratio. But yeah, like you said, Charbonnet, 22 carries, 198 yards, and a touchdown. Dude,
Yeah,
they've
Charbonnet
got some.
is
They got
good.
some play markers. They got play markers, doors. They've got some playmakers.
Them boys out there, they run that ball.
They do. But yeah, no, that was a big game, a big matchup. And when I actually went over to it, because I didn't have that one on for a little while, but when I did finally go over to it, I think it was either tied or within like 3. And but then UCLA was able to just take it, man.
Yeah, I kept expecting Utah to win the game, not because of what I was watching today, but just from preconceived notions that I thought Utah was going to win the game. But UCLA was the better team. Like they were just straight up the better team. Front to back, better team.
Now, there were a couple times where I saw the stands and I was like, hey.
Yeah, they had some people there today.
No, and then they showed them kicking the PAT after one of their scores late, and there was like nobody behind the field goal. So in a few areas it was densely populated, in others it was scarce. Which, by the way, I meant to ask, did you see the video of Texas OU? Was that what you were about to ask me?
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, so there's a dude in the press box, and I mean, I guess you can say this is your.
Just there was a shot not after the game, but in the fourth quarter,
late,
as like an overhead shot where the Texas side was still packed and the Oklahoma side
to the brim
was like a UCLA game
or an Oakland A's game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. It was really crazy to see. Like
that's something you don't see. Like that's one of the great things about Red River is that's the type of thing you don't see at any other game because nobody else does the half and half.
Right, and it's because it's at a neutral site.
That's halfway between. It's both. Driving distance for both schools.
Right. So, I mean, you're definitely going to get plenty to represent both those schools, and they do. And I love that they do it half and half. And Jonah, I'm going to mention him again. I've mentioned him quite a bit because obviously OU's been a hot talking point. He is my friend. He's the OU crying kid. They actually had an older guy that looked like he was in his mid-20s today crying. And somebody put them side by side and said they grow up so fast. So Jonah was obviously defending himself quite a bit, saying that wasn't actually him. Like the older guy wasn't him.
Yeah. Was he at the game today?
No, he wasn't. But he told me when he was at that game, and then when he's been multiple times since, he usually likes to get tickets right on the line of both. And so, um, obviously, he's had more opportunities as of late to talk shit to y'all.
Yeah.
But today would not have been a fun one to be on the line on the OU side.
No. No.
All right, so enough about OU Texas. We've definitely
Yeah, we've got that covered. I
it's
guess
just crazy.
one
Like,
last thing is that I do have a beard of the week, and it is from
okay,
the OU Texas game,
okay,
and it's the mullet man himself, Quinn Ewers.
bearded.
He is bearded,
Okay,
bearded,
I'll have to
mullet.
look at that.
Yeah, there's a picture today of him today wearing the golden hat, and
Okay,
got the mullet, got the beard.
all right, I
Somebody,
dig it.
I saw somebody on Twitter that said he really looks like he should be the West Virginia quarterback, which makes so much sense.
It kind of does. That's pretty funny.
Um, oh, speaking of the golden hat, so you know the Bijan Robinson's
The
Bijan
Mustardson, yeah,
Mustardson. Did you
I
see the
saw
picture of
that.
that with
Yes,
the some maybe get it? We need to
special
get a different
edition.
hat, a different cap for the bottle with
Yeah,
the
and it's
with
got
the
the gold
golden
hat.
hat.
Yeah, I
Oh,
like that.
love it.
Pretty great. Dude, one thing I forgot to actually mention from the Kansas TCU game, that tight end for Kansas, Fairchild, that big boy, I think he's number 89. Dude, he was making plays. He had one play early when Jalen Daniels was still in, where he was going up the seam and going towards the right, and so he was looking over his right shoulder, but he threw it to his left shoulder, and he straight turned his whole head and made a hell of a
Yes,
catch. Dude, that was a nice
yes.
catch.
I
And then he
forgot to
ended up
mention
having
that.
a touchdown later. Like, he had the game of his life.
Like, I don't know if
And
people understand how hard that is
I
to
know,
be
dude.
looking one way and see the ball coming in, realizing it's on your other shoulder, and then just like turning over and catching. Like, that is so impressive. It'd be
Yeah, and
impressive on a baseball field, but to do that on a football field
to be
with
one of the
guys
big
coming to hit
boys.
you and with the helmet on, which narrows your vision quite a bit,
It does.
it's so impressive.
Dude, yeah, that was a hell of a play. I wrote that one down, so I just had to give a shout out to fucking Fairchild. Let's actually, you know what? I'm getting his first name because he deserves it because that was awesome. That was he only ended up having 4 catches, um, but one of them was a touchdown, and then where is it? Oh, I'm on TCU, not Kansas. Kansas. Mason Fairchild, 4 catches for 20 yards and 2 touchdowns. um,
If you're going to only have 4 catches, it might as well have 2 of them be touchdowns and the other one be a really impressive
okay,
catch.
so actually, I'm wrong about that. I think that was his. Those were his stats going into today on the season. He had three
Oh,
catches today for 80 yards and a touchdown. But like you said, that one where he had to just turn completely around, man, that was a hell of a catch. Very,
yeah.
very impressive, and I just had to give a shout out for that one. If he had a beard, I'll have to double check. If he had a beard, I might have argued with you a little bit.
Yeah, I did have one other, but he doesn't really have that much of a beard. And it's Jose Ramirez for the play at third. Not much of a beard there going on, just kind of got a little bit of chin action, but
Yeah, true. I do have to give a shout out to I've already used him before, but man, seeing it in the playoffs is even beautiful, more beautiful. Man, what's his name? Dang it! Oh, I just saw him strike out. The dude on the Phillies with the big old beard.
Harper
No, the other he's got the big beard. Dang it! I knew his
on the
name.
Phillies,
I'm on it.
drawing a blank. So a couple of ranked teams that are kind of in trouble while you're looking that
Brandon
up.
Marsh.
Oh, Brendan Marsh, yeah, used to
Yeah.
from the Angels. Got out of there.
Yep.
So a couple of ranked teams that are in trouble. Kansas State is currently losing to Iowa State 9-7. I got confused because it was such a low score. I thought it was Iowa, not Iowa State. Uh, BYU is currently losing to Notre Dame 25-20 with 14 minutes to go. That game's in Vegas. Kentucky is losing 17-7 to South Carolina. Again, Kentucky without their starting quarterback, Will Levis.
In the fourth now.
In the fourth. Yeah. Did I say third?
No, you didn't say anything yet about
Okay.
about where that one was at.
USC still up 17-14 on Washington State. That game's at home. 10 minutes to go in the third. Clemson now up 17-3 against Boston College. And then Alabama's up 17-14 on A&M at halftime. Florida State's now up 17-3 at halftime against NC State.
Yep. And then did you say Oregon already too? 14-3 against Arizona?
I don't think that I had said that one yet.
Yep. So, but that one's not in trouble. It looks like they should be fine there. It's still 12 minutes to go in the second quarter, so they got plenty of time, and it's already 14-3.
Yeah, looking good there. All right. You got anything else to say?
I don't think I do. Oh man. I guess whenever I looked up at one point and saw Phillies Cardinals was 1-1, I guess somehow they didn't score, so it's actually still 1-0 Phillies.
No.
I don't know what happened there. But I got to say, very impressed by the Mariners.
Yep. So Mariners and Guardians have both moved on.
Yep.
No game 3 for either one of them. Guardians will play the Yankees, and the Mariners will face the Astros on Tuesday. Both of those series start on Tuesday.
Dang, so both American leagues swept.
Yep. And we'll see what happens with the National League. DeGrom's already at 98 pitches, and it's only the 6th.
Yeah. But he just got out of sorry. I'm ahead of you.
No, that one I already saw.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he just got out of the 6th.
So well,
Man.
I'm basically done. I've said my piece.
I have basically
get one more hook 'em in there.
Go Dogs. Yeah, no, this has been a lot of fun. This should be a really good ending to the Alabama A&M game, and both baseball games are
Hopefully the
one run games. So
hopefully the home team wins. I kind of hope Alabama pulls away, because if Texas did what they did against Oklahoma today, and then A&M gets stuffed by Alabama, like that's like the greatest day in UT history.
Fair enough. I definitely understand.
Alabama
that.
just winning would be having Texas A&M and having A&M and
losing.
Oklahoma losing and Texas winning on the same day, and Texas just whooping Oklahoma on the same day. That already, and this would actually be back-to-back weeks where Oklahoma and A&M both lost and Texas won, which I don't know when the last time that happened.
So I'm going to say it's fair just because you are a Longhorn fan. So it's not too bad that we're still kind of talking about them. But I am curious. I'm trying to go see now. Dang it. Oh, yeah, they weren't ranked. So it's not going to be in the top 25 section.
No.
When was the last time y'all even scored 49 points? Have y'all done it? That's what I went to go look at.
I think that we've done it
this year yet.
I think we did it this year against
52-10.
Yeah.
UL Monroe.
Yeah, first game of the season.
Okay, so you all right, never mind. I was gonna say, damn, y'all probably aren't even used to seeing that high of a number.
I mean, we put up 70 on Tech last year.
All right, never mind.
That was before the wheels fell off.
I had to try and bring you down just a little bit.
Nothing's bringing me down today. Nothing's bringing me down today.
They just disqualified the Astros from the World Series.
Nah.
I'm just kidding. Well, shit, man, this was a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun. So If they do force game threes here, do we have them tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a potential lot of good NFL games, which, dude, this year the NFL, I almost don't even want to try and bet on it actually because they're
It's
all coin
wild.
toss it. It has been the most any given Sunday in for this league that we've seen in a long time. We're
Yeah, it's
seeing
pretty crazy.
people beating people that they shouldn't, and yeah, it's been fun. But so we have a potential really fun NFL slate plus more playoff baseball tomorrow.
Essentially.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Who we got Monday night again while we're recording our next episode? Let's go see.
Oh, don't even know.
Raiders Chiefs.
That should be interesting.
It should be very interesting. Cuz I mean, normally I would just say Patrick Mahomes, but they did end up losing to the Colts.
Yeah.
And I think the Raiders are the best 1-3 team this league has probably ever seen, at least personally. That's the one team that I don't think their record shows who they really are, like at all. It's the record the furthest from who they actually are. I think as of
Maybe.
now in the NFL.
Yeah.
So that or the 3-1 Giants. I can't decide.
That's the other one I was going to mention. But
oh man,
because I'm still on record that that's a really bad team. I'm
but they're
sticking to
winning
that.
football games. I'm with you there. I think so too. But they're winning football games. But that makes it look even better that we beat them because they're
Yeah.
winning against everybody else. So, oh man, big matchup for the Cowboys tomorrow. By the way, Rams. That's
Should be fun.
it's gonna be a tough one. So tomorrow I actually have a doubleheader for baseball. So I'm gonna be missing some of the main or like the noon games, but I'll try my best to keep up.
Yeah. All right, man. This is
That was fun.
it's been a fun day. It's been a fun pod.
Oh yeah,
Let's we still got a lot to watch tonight.
right.
Nothing else.
Well, I'll still be keeping some notes.
Yeah. I gotta get my
So.
my other screen back up now that we're done recording.
right there you go.
But
Well, that was fun. We
everybody have a
will.
good couple of days. We'll talk to you again very, very soon. Never
Yep.
stops.
Nope. It's fun, man. I'm enjoying doing this so much now.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. All right, beards out.
Beard out.
Welcome.
Oh.